Here we are post-election, and I want to be kind of serious about, health with you, because my wife had a really bad stroke, and I want to talk about that and how, anxiety and stress and depression can really get you down. So let's chit chat about that, because we want you to be healthy in this crazy divisive time that we're living in now, and especially right now, with this post-election issues that's going on. So don't have a stroke. Let's talk about it.
No!
Welcome to Goose Pond
No!
Hideout with Rob.
No!
Okay, I had to have a little fun there. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't joking around and laughing a little bit. But I want to be really serious with you, because now is the time that you've really got to take care of yourself and your family. Because, I mean, what happened to us is 4 years ago in 2020, the election was, Tuesday, like it always is. I think that was the 3rd in 2020. So let's say November 3rd, 2020, the election on Tuesday. And we all know the results of that election, Joe Biden beating out Donald Trump. And a lot of people were, really upset about that, really anxious. We're so divided that you got the people that hate one person and the people that hate the other, and they think it's going to be the end of the world if, the wrong person wins, kind of thing. And on Thursday, 2 days later, so I believe that then would be the 5th, my wife had a bad stroke. And so, honest to gosh, she had her stroke on Thursday because she was so upset about the election results on Tuesday. And I mean, it was a bad stroke. She was in the hospital, and she was in the hospital for about a week, and then they transferred her to a rehab center, one of those, the places where you go and they teach you how to walk again and how to chew food and all that good stuff. And she was there for a couple of weeks, and they wanted to keep her there longer, but it was Thanksgiving time by then, week in the hospital, couple weeks in the rehab center, and now, it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. So we pleaded and pleaded with them. We convinced them that I'd be able to take care of her at home, and that, I'd tend to all of her needs and everything, and continue her therapies with walking and all of that kind of thing. And so they let her come home so she could be home for Thanksgiving. And, here we are 4 years later, and you may be really anxious and upset about the results. You might be happy about the results. I'm not, the point of this video isn't picking winners and losers and sides. It's you, the public, a person, staying healthy and not losing your mind, not doing something dumb, and certainly not having a medical issue like a stroke. And, she's still not 100% back. Her left leg is weak. Sometimes she has trouble getting her britches on and stuff like that, and she gets frustrated. Her memory isn't what it should be. A week or so ago, we bought some corn on the cob. Thank you. See, my memory's going too. She bought some corn on the cob at the store when we were out shopping, and she put the pot of, she filled up the pot with water and sat it on the stove, and she put the corn in the pot of water, and everything was good to go. Well, I walk into the kitchen, she's in the living room, watching TV or reading a book or whatever she was doing. And actually she has trouble reading books now because she can't concentrate and read the words. And she didn't turn the water on. The water wasn't going. So she put the pot on the stove with the water and the corn, but she didn't start the burner. So the corn wasn't going until I noticed it. And she'll leave the drawer open when she takes a spoon out. She's her memory, she's forgetful about stuff like that. And we all know what, Fetterman, he had his stroke, right before the Senate election back, well, I guess it was 2 years ago now, in the 22 election. And, he's more or less back to normal, but he's got, permanent issues. So it's just nothing to fool around with. And it's when you really think about it, it's kind of gosh darn silly to be upset about something that we really don't have any control over. Yes, pay attention to what's going on at the national level and global around the world, and do your part. You get out and you vote, and you do what you're supposed to do. But yet at the same time, we've got to live our own lives. We got to get up in the morning and get dressed and make our pot of coffee and do our chores, around the homestead. And the saying, I'm sure you've heard the saying, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to reach my destination. That's a Jimmy Dean quote. But yeah, can't change the wind, can't change the political outcome of the world, but you adjust your life to continue on, living your life, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family. And that's just, what life is all about. We have an event, and we learn from it, and we do the best we can, and then we move on and we live our life. Like, here on the homestead, you might have a predator issue. Maybe, something, a raccoon or something gets into your coop and kills, some of your chickens. And, you cry about it for a day or so, and you learn and you predator proof your coop better, and, you move on, and that's life. So, the election happened on Tuesday, and we know that Donald Trump has won, and it looks like the Senate is gonna, the Republicans are picking up some seats in the Senate, so they're gonna solidly have the Senate. At the time, right now at this moment, the House is still a little in flux. I guess they haven't quite decided all the seats yet in the House. But, then you and I, we've got to go on and live our lives and get up in the morning and, do our chores and let go. The anxiety, the undue stress, depression or whatever, you can't let your blood pressure boil to the point that you blow a vessel in your brain and stroke out. It's just that doesn't do anybody in your family any good, and it certainly isn't going to change the outcome or the results. And part of the problem is, the media is just feeds on all of that. The traditional media, the big television networks, the newspapers, the social media outlets and that, their goal is to keep your eyes on their product. And, so they feed the fire because they don't really care about you or me and our health. They just want eyeballs on their product so that they can make more revenue. That's their goal, is viewership. And the more they can keep things stirred up, the more they can stir that pot. So you say, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I've got to watch. I mean, look what they do with the weather, with the hurricanes and things. They start talking about it. There's one down there brewing now, I guess. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's another storm coming late in the season. And they just go on and on and on about everything. So, take care of yourself first. Take care of your spouse, partner, kids next. And dogs are chasing the Bonnie loves chasing the guineas around. Oh, because they squawk and fly and everything. But Bonnie, be a good girl. So she's not upset about the election results. She just gets up and lives her life every day. And, as long as there's food in her bowl and she can run around outside and have some fun chasing some animals. Squirrel, she loves chasing the squirrels, is, that's a good thing. So again, being serious, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, move on from the election, go turn your television off or whatever, because we can't change what's happened. And all these people that are, going to be talking about leaving the country and it's the end of democracy, and everything else, they're just being silly, right? So, we love you. Glad that we could chit chat with you on this sunny day, and I'm here in the woods. So it's all about freedom. You live in your life, live in your dreams, because, you know, life's short, right?